Day of interviews with legends in science, in movie making, in music. Imagine Dragons, big friends of Ukraine. Hello and welcome in Kyiv.
Thank you for having us.
This Russian invasion showed that not only Ukrainians have brave hearts. Our big friends have really big, huge, brave hearts. Why you're here and aren't you afraid?
And I feel like Ty might need to answer that first because he's been here for a few months. I'll just answer because my answer is shorter, which is, you know, I thought when I was thinking of coming, it's interesting actually. My mom was a little bit worried, as mothers sometimes are.
A little bit, yeah.
A little, yeah. She was a little worried. She was like, "Don't go," and I was talking to her, and she was hearing the story of someone in Ukraine, and a switch flipped, and she told me, "You have to go. No, you have to go." And I think I feel that same kind of obligation. Like, if I have so many friends here in this country who are living with us every single day, and if I'm too nervous to come here for a few days, what does that say, you know? And so it was an easy answer for me. I was grateful to come and super, super honored to be here. And it's just overwhelming almost to see this beautiful city and people, you know, you walk outside and everyone's living their lives and having a normal day. And then there's an air raid. And people are living under that umbrella of fear all the time. And it's just unbelievable to see.
And you, Ty, you saw the hell, how it looks like. You were in Bakhmut for some days, but I think it was enough when you saw how Russians tried to destroy Ukrainians. What it was like?
Bakhmut, a lot of people ask me that in America too. It's so hard to explain what that's like. It's hard to put into words. It's more trying to describe sounds, feelings, because I'm not old enough to have experienced World War II, but it is artillery fire that doesn't stop ever. And you're stuck, and it feels like you are at the mercy of fate. Luck. It's luck if you come out alive. It's luck if you're okay. And I really felt like the team that I went in with, we all made it out. And at the end, I felt like it's just pure luck that we made it out. It is so dangerous, and I can't imagine that people have to experience this. It's not just in Bakhmut. It is across that front line. Bakhmut's the most intense, but this sort of experience is happening everywhere across the country. That's something I saw that.
You looked in the eyes of death. You were scared, but you came back to Ukraine, and you continue, your group, you two, you continue support Ukraine. Why? Why this understanding? Not everyone understands that now Ukraine is like a shield for many countries. Not everyone understands it. How you understood it?
I don't understand why it's not universally seen. I don't understand that because maybe in the 21st century we're better at distancing ourselves from people. We build barriers all the time. But as soon as you look at that in the eyes and you see these people and you realize their fight is our fight, like Ukraine is fighting for all of us. That is a fact. It is a human obligation to democracy and freedom that all of us have to support Ukraine in this fight. And I believe that and feel it. And I just think more people need to have it communicated in a way that they understand and relate to. And those barriers need to be broken down.
For me, I mean, I feel the same way. You know, America, we're on the other side of the ocean. Mm-hmm. We see the images, we care about it, and we're so far away from it. For me, I came to Ukraine with that impression that I want to help, I want to learn about it. Now it's personal. Now I know people that live here. I know people that are in these areas, and I want to come back to help them. People, real people.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's that dichotomy. Like I have friends, colleagues, and coworkers who live in Ukraine. I was with them doing Zooms every single day until the invasion, and then I watched their lives turn upside down. Some of them, one of them is leading the 63rd Brigade of the Infantry right now, and he was a game designer, and now that's what he's doing. So you see these ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and
artists, singers.
Yeah, everyone. And the people at United 24 that I meet, I talk to them, and you get to know their stories, and you're like, wait, this isn't what they do for their day job. They just flipped the switch and said, I'm going to help out my country. And if we could even just have a small piece of that in America, just a small piece of that, I feel like, Ukraine would be so much better supported.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry. That's a good point, because that's something that I experienced when I was here. People that for example, the people that I went to down by Kherson with, these are just normal people that lost their jobs. My friend worked at the port, lost his job, his family left for Germany to be safe. He has no income, he has no prospects, and yet he still would go out, find a truck, find money,
yes,
and deliver it to people long time before I got there. And I saw this everywhere. This is not just military that's fighting this war. There is so much support of just regular people all over the country that are doing it. And it's amazing to see. I mean, for us as Americans, we usually kind of stick to our own little safe world, but here it's everybody involved. It's incredible to see.
And now you're involved also all this time. And I told you it before interview, and I'll repeat it now. You can't really imagine how much this support matters for Ukrainians. It matters when you take, just on the scene, the flag, Ukrainian flag is shown, when some words sound about Ukraine, when you make video, when you tell something supporting us. It's really big support for us. But Russian regime says that in Ukraine is Nazis, I don't know, some monsters maybe. You saw Ukrainians. Let's describe Ukrainians.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I mean, heart is the first word that comes to mind for me.
Hot.
Oh, heroes. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. Not me. I was the scared one. I was the one that was afraid and hiding. But the Ukrainians that I met, just regular Ukrainians that are risking their own lives to help other people. It's like a myth. They're heroes. I can't believe they would do that. It's amazing.
You're ambassadors of United 24. Your main mission now is what kind of?
So we're really focused on the medical side and helping with medical supplies. But it's interesting, you touched on this when you said, you were talking about the value of raising your voice. And I do think, and we're included in this, that a lot of people felt they saw what was happening, it was way over here, and you feel like, I can't really do anything. What can I do to help that? I'm not rich, I cannot whatever. And when we had our first Zoom with President Zelensky, we asked him, and we said, well, what can we do? We're happy to help, but what can we do? And that was when he gave us that recognition, that realization in our mind that lifting up your voice matters. Everyone's voice matters, and that especially in a war like this, in an invasion, Russia is relying on people forgetting and turning away and getting bored, which is a smart tactic because there's a lot of things happening, and people have a hard time focusing on things. And so I think we felt really motivated coming out of that, okay, maybe what we're doing is small, but if we're just doing it every day, and that makes somebody else speak up a little bit, and they're doing it, that matters. And I think if people recognize that, they'll be more willing to do something, because sometimes we just don't know what to do.
Maybe there were some cases when some people came to you and said, why you support Ukraine? Maybe some such cases were, and what you answered, if it were.
How could you not support Ukraine? I would turn that question around every single time. To me, it is a human cause. And when someone says it's political, I get angry, to be honest. I get really angry because there's no politics about this. This is about human dignity and freedom and peace. And that is, there's nothing more basic and human than that. And so if you can't stand behind that, what can you stand behind?
If you had a possibility, let's imagine that now you have a possibility to say something to Russians, to Putin, for example. What would you say? Because we are a multimedia platform, we are broadcasting, foreign broadcasting we have. What would you say to these people?
Go home. Go to your own home. Go home.
And I would say that we're here. We're here, and there's going to be more and more people here, and Ukraine's family is just going to keep growing. That's never going to end.
And, you know, sometimes people in America, in USA, in Europe say, oh, Ukraine is so far. It doesn't touch me because it's war only. Russia wants to take Ukraine, and that's all. Do these people really understand that they are safe? They suppose that they're safe. Are they safe? Or there is some threats from Russia to also to USA, to European countries?
I would say never underestimate the power of symbolism. And when you allow a dictator to invade a peaceful democratic country and you stand by and you watch it, or even justify it sometimes, that will resonate forever in the same way that the resilience and courage and legacy of the Ukrainian people will resonate forever when they have a victory.
I have one more question. You planned to visit Ukraine last year in summer. You planned to give a concert. I planned to visit this concert. And the question from all your Ukrainian fans, after Ukraine's victory, as soon as it happens, when you will arrive here with your concert with Imagine Dragons?
Talk to Dad.
We're talking about it every
waiting.
day, and I will just say, as soon as humanly possible, we will be here, and we're working on it.
Okay, we will wait you, and thanks a lot for this support, for your help, for all you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.